Alright, Brakatha Yahweh,
Brakatha Yahweh,
Brakatha Yahushai,
Brakatha Yahushai,
Brakatha Yahweh,
Brakatha Yahweh,
Brakatha Yahushai,
Brakatha Yahushai,
Brakatha Yahweh,
Brakatha Yahweh,
Brakatha Yahushai.
Brakatha Yahushai.
What we just did was we blessed the name of our Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, and all these other names, right? And His only begotten Son's true name is Yahushai, man. The Heavenly Father's true name is Yahweh. When we get into this lesson, we'll give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders and great millstones, teaching salutations to these brothers from the four corners of the earth, preaching His word and also laboring in His word in truth, love, and sincerity, and may blessings fall upon the houses that are 1/3. So, you know, what has been going on lately is the persecution of the house of Israel has begun to arise even more and more. Okay? So with the fowler, which that's Esau Edom, the snare, the trapper, the one that's a bait layer, what he recently have done was one of his false flag events, right? He did a false flag event, but he tried to link that false flag event, which was also labeled as a terrorist act, to be linked with the Hebrew Israelites. Okay? But he presents it as the black Hebrew Israelites, which we don't even teach that, man. Okay, that's madness. But we know that he uses that to play on the minds of the people. Okay, that's just one of his agendas as well. All right, but we're talking about as the persecution that's going to come behind these different false flags, behind these false terrorist acts. You know, and Esau is going to continue to persecute us and make up false accusations just so we can be demonized and be taken off the streets, man. And they want to take us off the streets in a manner of aggression. Revelation 12:12.
Right, and going into what the bro was saying about Esau, like in particular putting that black stigma on us, okay? Esau's the master of categorization. You know, there could be a tree, and it's all pretty much the same tree, but he'll give it several different classifications based off of little small differences. Or same with birds and dogs and all the other different types of stuff. So Esau is trying to put that stigma on us, man. Okay, he's putting that byword on us, that classification, so he can control the narrative. The black Hebrew Israelites, meaning void of light, wicked, evil. It points that image of us being evil, man.
Well, but even those different acts, though, those different, because they want to link us with those different acts to make it seem as we're a threat to the people.
Right.
You know, we're a threat to the government, we're a threat to the people, we're a threat to the world. You know, but all we are doing is coming out on the highways and byways and teaching the Bible. We're teaching the truth of the Bible. Right. You know, go ahead, bro. You can bring your scripture out.
This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he have but a short time."
Right, so Esau know that his time is short, man. You see? And he's going to come down with great wrath. Or whether you be Israelite to go out on the highways and byways, hey, if you even affiliate yourself as being a part of the Hebrew Israelites, the devil won't come down on you, man. You see? You people think that because you got a 501c3 that he ain't gonna come at you, man. You people think just because you can say, oh, Esau can make it, he ain't gonna come at you. No, the persecution is against all of us. They look at us as one. You know, we like the drum line. One band, one sound. That's how they look at us. You see? Even though we have different doctrines, you know, but the devil look at us like, hey, y'all one, man. See? We're gonna treat y'all as one, we're gonna take y'all down as one. You see? So as the persecution came, at who was that? ISUPK. You see? They're just using that to eventually loop us all in one.
Yep. I got a precept backing up what the bro was saying. Okay, this is Psalms 58. We start at verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. So they ain't trying to hear what you're saying. No matter if y'all bless the lights out here trying to be all nice and kind and sweet and trimming your way to seek love of all these different nations, particularly the Edomites, like the watchmen bug out, watchmen for Israel, whatever their name is, the bald head dude and the damn would be wearing the damn head covering with his woman sitting up next to him. He's talking about Job, the righteous Edomite. Esau ain't trying to hear that. What's gonna happen? It says 58 and 4, Psalm 58 and 4 again. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. So you can say all these beautiful things to Esau and, oh, we love you, brother. You can make it too. There was a righteous Edomite. His name was Job. Fucking lying. Esau ain't trying to hear that shit. He stopped his ears at all these things. No matter how wisely you try to charm him, he's still gonna bite you in your ass, man.
Right, because he knows his time is short, you know, so he's going to do everything in his power to try to stop his word from going out. But you can't stop his word because this is of the counsel of the Lord. See, this ain't of men. You know, but deep down, really, Esau know what time it is, man. That's why he's using all these different tactics to use against us because he's carnal. Well, I mean, what else could he do? See, we spiritual. Let me get it real quick. The book of 2 Corinthians, right? Chapter 10, verse 4 says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds. So it's like, how could you combat something that is spiritual like this? What could you do? Only thing Esau know how to do is get carnal. So the way he has to come attack us is what? By his wrath, by his aggression, you know, and that's what it's all going to boil down to. But he's going to start with using his demonization and make us look like we are the threat. Okay, we are public enemy number one.
Right, and that's what punk ass people do, man. You know what I'm saying? I almost said punk ass bitches because Esau's a bitch, man. That's what they do. When you point out things that are true about them and they don't have a way to rebuttal, they resort to violence.
That's right.
They resort to violence and childish behavior, man. Yep. They ain't got nothing logical that they can do to combat it. So all they can do is get carnal, man. You know?
But hold on. We niggas that don't know the Bible. I mean, I thought we was just crazy niggas on the corner who don't know nothing. We don't know what we talking about. We just got the Bible screaming just screaming on the top of our lungs. You see? But it's really showing you that what we are saying is affecting you, man. Yep. You know the truth. What we are saying is affecting the earth, man. You see? We rousing up spirits with this. Well, through the word of Yahweh Shai, we being the messengers of the Lord, we rousing up these spirits out here, man.
Look, bro, I got a precept. Isaiah 29. I'm gonna start at verse 20.
Because people think this is a light thing. But look, these people that be acting like they don't know us, and they be walking past trying to stop their ears and all that, they know who he is, man.
Isaiah 29 and 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. So that's what they do, man. They make us what does it make us? Enemy. Let me read that again. Make a man an offender for a word. That's what they do, man. They make us an offender just for speaking the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You know. And like the bro was also going into, man, you people can't, like the brother said, you know who we are, man. Especially now, more and more it's gonna get to the point where there's gonna be no excuse, man. No excuse. Everybody's gonna hear about the Hebrew Israelites and have a chance whether to accept it or deny it. And their fate's gonna be sealed.
Yeah, and I got a precept back you up because Esau, you know, he's using the tactic of slander to get everybody on board with him when he does come down.
Yeah.
You know, so they call us terrorists.
Yep.
So this is this is Psalms chapter 50, and I'm gonna start at 16 so you can know exactly who we're talking about. It says, but unto the wicked, right? This is the wicked, Malachi 1 and 4. Esau Edom, right? It says, but unto the wicked The Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
You know, so you heard about the Hebrew Israelites?
Did I what?
You heard about the Hebrew Israelites? Because you said, I heard you say the tribes of Israel.
I am born again spiritual Christian.
Okay.
Yes, I am. So,
Sounds good.
All right, man.
Sloppy.
It said, verse 17, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my word behind thee, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him and hast been partaker with adulterers. Now givest thou mouth to evil, thy tongue frameth deceit. It says, thou sinnest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Right, so as you can see going on in the news, the Hebrew Israelites are being slandered, right? Just as the bro brought out earlier, that's why they put in that stigma of black on us, right? To try to say that we're wicked, you know, that we don't have any morals, right? When it's actually the other way around. Esau is wicked, and he's known as the wicked in the scriptures, right? It says,
My friends, you know where the William Penn Hotel is.
I think I know what he's talking about, but I couldn't.
Yeah, it's an old
I
brick.
know what you're talking about, but I
hotel.
couldn't tell you exactly where it is.
I know it's a big, tall building.
You don't have a phone?
Yeah, I got a phone. but
Smartphone? Just Google it.
The thing's not directing me to the right place, man. I've been
Yeah.
all over the frickin' city.
Yeah, well, just,
And I'm not from here.
okay, see that like the little hotel over there to the left?
Yeah.
Yeah, go over there and, there'll be like
That's
a doorbell.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
yeah, that's the point. Verse 19, thou mouth, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sinnest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
That's what they have been doing, man. Right? Because remember, Esau's our wicked twin brother. See? But what is he doing? He's slandering us, man. See? But out of his mouth frameth what? Deceit, man. See? And as the brother read, when it came out, came out born speaking lies, man. See? So Esau's doing one of his characteristics that he was made to do. Right? Just like we playing Madden, right? Or NBA 2K.
Excuse me, my Israelite brothers. Is it true that there's a surah in the Quran that says, if you want to see, this calls the black man a raisin head?
What is it called? Oh, we're not
We're
fully versed on the
And that if you
Quran.
want to see the devil, just look at the black man. And
Oh,
what
man.
I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna Google it and look it up so I can be a little bit more accurate because I know you brothers on top of
I
your
gotta
game.
look that up too, man.
Top of your game. But what threw me was, why are black people so enamored with Islam when it don't get no more racist than raisin head? Raisin head?
Yeah.
Raisin head?
I mean, you know.
I mean, white people have called us a lot of shit. But, well, there was a movie called Raisin in the Sun,
Right.
Sidney Poitier, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But raisin head? Muhammad said that.
I mean, I'll
Hey, Muhammad was white. Did you know?
Yeah, I thought Muhammad was black.
No, he's white.
I used to be down with the NOI, you know, Nationism. And I was like, why do black people love Islam so much? Muhammad wasn't, he was
a white man.
well, he wasn't white, he was white Asiatic.
Well, they say in the hadiths, when the dude got off the horse and said, "Where's Muhammad?" He said, "Oh, he's that white man over there leaning on his arm."
Exactly.
So,
And when he branched out of Eurasia, you know Medina, what we know as Medina now, used to be called, was a black Asiatic enclave. Like Abraham, he wasn't an Israelite yet.
He was a Hebrew.
He was the first one to be called a Hebrew, but he was from Ur of the
No,
Chaldees.
he couldn't have been because he had Isaac and Jacob, and then the 12 sons.
They was all
So the
Hebrews.
Israelites,
All Hebrews.
A Hebrew and an Israelite are okay. An Israelite
more
is
a Medianite.
an Israelite is a type of Hebrew.
Yeah. There's different because
Say again?
An Israelite is a type of Hebrew. There are different types of Hebrews that are not of the 12 tribes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Esau, the so-called white man, he's a Hebrew. He's a Hebrew Edomite.
I got a scripture real quick.
Go ahead,
Got a scripture.
brother. So-called white man. That's what we call. That's what he's called out of the Bible. Go ahead, brother.
Genesis 14 verse 13. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew,
Right.
where he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Anar, and these were confederate with Abram.
Right. So he was called a Hebrew. Doesn't Hebrew?
So this is
isn't
when
that
Abraham was named Abram.
Abram, yeah.
Before his name was changed. Abraham.
Yeah, and the word Hebrew means of old, right?
Yep.
So he was that just was the classification that he was given. He was of old.
Okay,
right?
fair
So
enough.
meaning
Okay,
also
fair enough.
he spoke the Hebrew language.
Hebrew.
Okay.
He kept the language.
So hey,
Fair enough.
you received that. So he was a Hebrew.
When I know when Muhammad branched out in what we know as Medina now, it was Hebrew enclave, Google it, called Yathrib. Okay, Yathrib, right? And so he went to proselytizing with this new religion, but they weren't buying it because they were Israelites.
Right.
Hear what you're talking about. So he slaughtered them. He slaughtered them men. The men that didn't want to be slaughtered, that submitted, they became dhimmis. And you know what they did with the women, right? And then they changed it to Medina and swept across the Mediterranean all the way up to Spain.
And that's history.
That's
That's
history.
real history. That's not.
North Africa, Morocco, until Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand II and the Pope
Right.
said enough of this shit, which we know as the Crusades. But the Crusades were a joke.
That was
You know why the Crusades were a joke? Was a motherfucker trying to make a... Because I didn't know this shit. I had to remember this. When they talk about the Crusade, well, what about the Crusades? What about the Crusades? I'm like, what about them? Yes, there were some battles and they won some battles. But the Crusades was of such insignificance. When Islam went across the Mediterranean, they changed the landscape. Am I right, my brothers?
Well, see,
They changed the landscape. They changed Christian and Hebrew cultures across the Mediterranean to Islamic, which are still Islamic today. So when the Crusades came along, did they take back any territories back? No,
They did some
because
damage too.
So
See,
that,
the damage of the Crusades is seen to this day with what you call the Renaissance. That was the rebirth. When you mentioned Pope Ferdinand, that was the rebirthing of the white man putting himself as God and putting himself as the most important man on the planet Earth.
I'll even give you that. But it doesn't change the fact that today, December 14th, 2019, all those territories, even parts of Italy, the Christians haven't taken back.
The Islamic faith.
Yeah.
Because when Islam invades, they're brutal.
I mean,
Look, brutal.
Look, it's the Muslims. They did their little thing. They did
their little thing.
They did their little thing. But guess what?
Do you understand what the caliphate is?
But guess what? They're insignificant because everybody that's in the madness of Islam, they gonna get put to death real soon.
Yep.
So that's why I say they're insignificant.
So can I ask you brothers a question?
What's that?
Is Jehovah and Allah the same God?
Give me Daniel 4:17.
In your opinion? Is the God of Islam and the God of Israel
Nope,
the
they
same
two different
God?
gods.
Only with two different names?
Two different
completely
deities.
powers, yep.
So they're not the same?
They're not the same because Muslims look at what's the Allah is a moon god,
Right.
and our power. We have a true name of our power.
Yeah.
And if people say in our language in Hebrew, Allah means just God.
It just
or
means power.
Yeah, that's it. Power or God. It's just a title. It's not his name.
Or judge.
You know, or judge. Right. Now
I know the name that you're
okay, so
referring
to
to.
go back to how even
I know the name you're referring to.
how the Muslims or the Arabic language adopted it because it derived from the Hebrew language. So that's what they get. That's
Y'all have a strong. Let me give y'all a thumbs up. I've been checking y'all out from a distance. for a long time. They have a strong doctrine, and they got a strong case to support
What
the ideology.
The truth.
The only
tends
problem
to
I
do
got,
that.
y'all be standing out on the corner cussing Esau out, cussing white folks out. Like the Most High didn't commission y'all to do that.
Yeah, he did.
What did he say?
Give me
Stand
Jeremiah
on the corner and kill all these Peckerwoods.
Hey, wait. Hold on.
I missed that
You
part.
said kill. We ain't killing nobody.
Yeah, we'll say
New
We out
Jersey,
here,
New
we
Jersey
giving
a couple
them
days
their
ago.
We didn't do it.
Well, I did
See,
it
I'm
not,
glad,
but
I'm
you know what
glad
I'm
you
saying.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Can you?
That wasn't cool, man.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Are you not aware that the so-called white man has false flags, things that he put forth so he can jump in like Superman, but really he was behind that shit? Look at 9/11.
Whoa!
Look at 9/11.
You see, yeah.
Well, the
because-
jury's still out on that because
Oh
there's
man,
so much
order out of
missing.
chaos.
No,
He
I'm
creates
just-
the chaos,
Okay, fine.
and then he puts
I'm
order
trying
in
to
place.
meet you halfway.
Go ahead.
But there's so much misinformation out there. It's like hard to, you know what I mean, to weed through it. And I
That's
just
how he
don't
works.
want to be biased and just jump on the anti-white bandwagon because it's
You don't-
convenient.
you don't
I know the white man does some dirty shit,
1 second. Give me Jeremiah.
but you have to
28,
remember.
Give me Daniel 4:17.
But you have to remember,
I want to
we
say
ain't
something.
that righteous.
Hold
Otherwise,
on.
we would have been sent into slavery.
Okay, that's true, but I'm gonna say this.
We kinda shady.
We're not anti-white. We
No.
got brothers and sisters that look like some of these so-called white people. We got
Right.
brothers out here that's doing this work that look like a so-called white man. We got sisters that repented and returned back into their true power.
Fair enough.
And they look like
I
white
just
people.
wish, I was
So-
just like, when I hear some of the brothers in the camp go wilding out, sounding like Farrakhan, them crackers this, them crackers, I be like, really?
Because
I said, why don't you just teach your doctrine?
that is the doctrine.
Wait a minute.
That
That's
is
a
the
part of
doctrine.
it.
It's a part of it. So we teach the full doctrine.
I'm talking about Islam. How they, you know, like Farrakhan, you think all white people should just be exterminated. I'm like,
Well,
They
you
should be.
said
I don't know. I
you
guess.
said
I
that
don't know.
Hebrews out here sound like
yeah.
the Islam.
And I'm like, why don't you just teach the
That's
doctrine
personal.
and let the hearer
Jeremiah 28.
and let the hearer decide for themselves as opposed to
We do.
come here, Peckerwood, and be my
No,
sex
we'll-
slave.
we'll-
I'll be
we'll
like,
say that.
really?
Hey, we won't say that.
Wow.
We won't say that.
Come here, suck my dick. I'll be like, oh,
we don't-
really?
I don't know who's
and then they
saying
doing
that.
it too.
I
I
don't
see
know.
all the white women in America, they worshiping your black ass like a deity. And I'm like,
I don't know who's doing
they all
that.
strung out on crack and
They really-
Homewood. All your homies run a train on them. Don't act like you. I know.
That's going off, man.
That's Jeremiah 28.
Maybe not y'all,
All right.
but don't act like you don't know.
We
And
don't
I'm just
know.
like, and that's what's keeping me back, because when I was a Muslim, I didn't want to carry that much anger around. Because when I was down with Nation of Islam, I just want to kill white people, Jews. I was like,
The laws
I
of
don't
Lord
want
with
that.
us.
Jeremiah
I don't want to be
28.
that angry, man.
Is there
And I'm
wisdom
seeing
in
it
them?
on.
No, it's talking about the prophets that prophesied before.
But that's not that.
Oh, that's in
Look, y'all got too much knowledge, man.
That's in
But
Jeremiah
please,
24.
stay positive. Please stay positive.
We is positive.
Keep up the good
You look
work.
like you about to go, so we're gonna bring these scriptures out after you leave.
Bro,
you gotta
I
understand
got
the
it.
nature of your enemy.
Jeremiah 28, verse 8.
You might hear me on that one.
The prophets
I don't
that have been
understand
before
nature,
me, before thee of old, prophesied both against
You
many
got me on that
countries.
one. I don't understand the nature of my enemy. I keep giving them more credit than they deserve. You got me on that one.
Jeremiah 28 and 8.
You got me on that.
The prophets that have been before me, before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So we're gonna prophesy the same thing as our prophets did before, man. You know, we're gonna prophesy. Cause what's coming to this place? Evil, war, pestilence, disease, famine. All that's coming here. So we gotta speak about those same things. We can't water down the doctrine because people don't want to deal with the scriptures and they want to deal with their emotions, or they want to get in their feelings, or they don't want to deal with the reality of the Bible. No, man. So we gotta get into these scriptures, and this is what's spoken about in the Holy Scriptures. So when you people say, "Oh, that's the good book," that's the good book, so give me Ezekiel 3. That's the good book. Because Ezekiel said what was written in his robe. Lamentations, or you didn't gotta get, bro. Lamentations, mourning, and woe. Lamentations, mourning, and woe. Sorrowfulness, destruction. You see, all that is within these scriptures, man. And the reason why y'all don't know, because why? These false pastors have been teaching you lies, man. You know what? Matter of fact, it has started with Christianity, man.
You see? It started with Christianity, man. Okay? And those philosophies and ideologies was passed down and passed down and passed down till today. You see? So, and it was all over the place anyway, so, you know, it is what it is. But these people have a misconception about the Hebrew Israelites, man.
Yeah.
These people have no clue what we're really about, man. Because all the things he just uttered was complete, most of it was complete madness, man. You see? And then the brother caught it, because I'm like, I didn't know what he was saying, but then it's the spirit, bro. Because it's that easy how this fool just said what? We was linked to
look
the
what y'all
Jersey
did.
shooting.
Yep, look what y'all did in New Jersey. I can't get down with that.
I can't get down with y'all. And this is what the fowler wants.
Exactly.
This is what and it's that easy. That easy. But the Lord don't want you anyway, nigga. Get on. You see? Because guess what? You didn't want to slog your brother. Y'all don't. He didn't really want to come and examine the whole matter. He wanted to say his piece and roll out. You see? All those different things he wanted to talk about. Well, let's stay here and talk about it then. You see? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. It's just, you see, it's so easy for Esau to just use that TV to program you, man. To program you, right? He uses the TV to slander us, man. That's an example right there.
Right.
You know, because Jake is gullible.
Gullible. Right. Right there. That easy. And guess what? He uses it to play on the minds of the people, and that was a clear case right there, man. We ain't been out here for 20 minutes, and the first thing he said was, "I can't get with y'all because y'all was a part of that New Jersey ordeal, man." Madness, man.
How are we a part of the New Jersey ordeal? We all the way over here in the
But
different
he
city.
mean the Hebrew Israelites. He mean us. Remember I said when they want to link us all together? You see, we all linked it together.
Right, but that's why, you know, through the spirit, man, we can tell that Esau's lying, right? Or anybody who got some type of sense, watching those different news reports, you can tell that something's up, right? Because they're calling these people actors, right? And then one statement they're saying that they're linked, and then in another statement they're saying that they're not linked, right? But hey, you has eyes, ears to hear, let them hear.
Hey, you got it, right? Don't you got it in man?
I got a couple precepts.
Because really, you people just getting caught up in the snares of Esau, man. You see? That's all it is. You getting caught up in the snares of Esau. See, that's a snare, man. You know?
Okay. I'm gonna just get the one there. I was trying to get a couple more, but I'm gonna just get this precept. Psalm 64 and 1. A psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue, meaning sharpen, like a sword, and bend their bow to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not, you know. Hey, and that's what they doing, man. It's a slander campaign, man. You know, this man doesn't understand the nature of the enemy, man. That Esau works very subtly to where, hey, that word subtle keeps coming out, man. It's difficult and hard to be explained, man, or to point out. You're not gonna be able to just sit down in one hour, let's say, and go through and say, see how Esau's done this elaborate plan over time, gradually, to eventually demonize us. It's real hard to pinpoint the bull crap that Esau's pulled, man. To where you got Jakes walking around that fast, man. The shit just came on the news, man. And he's already saying, y'all a part of that. Bullshit. That wasn't us. Then he's over here, I don't understand what this dude, who he watching, or what he's been exposed to, talking about Hebrew Israelites telling Edomite women to suck they, you know, do this, and then running train. All that shit's going on, man. That shit is unlawful, man.
Because really, what he said, like, he said how, you know, Edomite women supposed to worship him. We're their lords, man. Even our women are supposed to worship us, man. So what the hell are you talking about, man? You see, but that's too high for a fool. You see?
Yep.
That's too high for a fool. He said, what did he say? I can't have hate in my heart. What are you talking about? You see? Just because we're passionate about this truth, you know, and we speak rough, you know, we speak with authority, we speak as men, you say as we have hate. But then we do hate because we hate.
The Lord has hate.
Yep.
We're about to get it, ain't it?
Amos, I'm gonna get the one in Amos first.
Okay, let me get the other one.
So the one in Amos says this, right? The people don't know what to hate, right? But the scriptures say this: hate the evil and love the good. So it tell you to hate the evil, man. We hate evil. We hate wickedness. We hate abomination. See? So when you people talk about, oh, just love and, you know, love and I can't have no hate in my heart. Man, come on, you're unbalanced, man. You're really lying, man.
Yep.
You see? Everybody hates something.
That's right. Let a nigga come commit adultery with your woman, you gonna hate that nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody hates something.
Yeah,
But you gotta understand what to hate and what to not hate. Like, we ain't supposed to hate our brothers.
right.
You see? But we're supposed to hate wickedness.
That's right. There's righteous indignation. It is a righteous thing with the Lord to render recompense unto them that trouble you, man. That's righteous hate, man. You got some more on that?
It says hate the evil and love the good. And establish judgment in the gate. And that's what we establish, man. Judgment in the gate, man. Right? It may be that the Lord, power of hosts, will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph.
That's right. Maybe. Now, I got a precept. Psalms 139 and 21. Do not I hate them, O Yahweh, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?
And this is King David, man. This is King David, a man of the Lord. See, because everyone loves to quote Psalms. Everybody loves to quote the book of Psalms. Well, quote that. Why didn't you quote when King David said that, man? He was a righteous man of the Lord. But don't nobody want to quote that Psalms, though. You see? And we in the same spirit like that as King David, man. Right.
Yeah. Because this, you know, Esau, no matter if you're affiliated with the Israelites, if you have been a part of an Israelite group or you're part of an Israelite group, all Israelites in general, man, he's gonna come down and he's gonna start destroying people, man. He's gonna come down with wrath. Right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse. It's a lot. I'm gonna start at verse.
Right. And you know, you go ahead, bro.
To Isaiah 29 again, because ultimately this comes down to Esau laying that snare for the men of the Lord, man. Isaiah 29 and 21. That make a man an offender for a word and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. That's what he's doing. He's laying this snare, these different subtle things that he's putting out there, man. They got that movie that they rebranded. It was called Asher. That was called what? St. Paul.
St. Paul, yeah.
But before that, they already got a movie out there right now making mockery of the men of the Lord. I forget what it's called, but basically he tying us in, the Hebrew Israelites in, with all these different bug out ass things. Nation of Islam, and it's a mockery thing, man. It's a mockery thing. They got, you know, all hell Black Jesus and Black Santa and all this. It's weird as hell. But Esau had these psyops that he put out there to control the narrative, man.
Right. And I don't even know what he was trying to get at, talking about what what Islam did. Well, they was giving that you know, that time period to do what they had to do or whatever. You see?
Yeah.
But that's why I made the statement I said. Like, it don't matter, because all that don't mean shit. It's all about to come to an end. All of it.
I think what he was trying to, go ahead,
I was gonna say, don't you find it interesting how they got this movie Asher in St. Paul, and then they had this incident happen?
Yeah,
Right.
said that, yeah.
Right?
I don't think the movie's out yet, though, right?
Not sure, it might be.
I don't know. I don't think the movie's out.
Speaking out on the trailer or something.
On the trailer, yeah.
I don't know.
Because they got the picture of Yahweh Shai up there. That the apostles been using for years, man.
Right, so they're getting their social programming together, man.
Yep.
Through the TV.
The
and
slander
different
campaign.
movies. Yeah.
Slander campaign. And so what he was basically, what I perceive about that whole Islam thing, he was trying to say, look at all the stuff they did. They still holding on to them lands. He was basically trying to diminish the power that Esau has been given by Yahweh Shai.
But hold.
He's trying to say like how, oh, they still ain't got, Christianity ain't really doing nothing major, because they still ain't got them lands back.
That's bullshit.
That Ishmael took over, basically is what he's saying.
And see now, if I would have knew it was that way, I would have told him simply, nigga, Esau run all that shit. Esau run all those lands.
Yep.
Ishmael ain't got nothing on lock.
Yeah.
Only thing he got is what Esau's allowing him to do or get.
Yeah. Them those rich people over there in those lands got rich off of the oil deals that they made with Esau, man.
Esau ain't worried about Ishmael. He ain't bugging, man. Esau would keep bombing Ishmael, man.
Right.
You see?
Ishmael can't fight them.
But it still goes back to even in the whole. He wants that philosophy or that religion to still be out there. So who could get snared up into that? Jake.
And he wants you to think that he ain't in control.
Right.
Because really, at the end of the day, if you had an eye to see, you see that Esau runs every aspect of life, and damn near in the whole world, man. His philosophy, that wine of Babylon, has got all these nations drunk, man.
Well, the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked.
Been given into their hands, man. In all these different nations, man. Even in these damn Islamite whatever nations, you have people that's breaking off and becoming Christians, man.
Yeah.
That's Esau's reach of power.
Yeah.
Whether you can see it physically, whatever you think might be going on, Esau got the minds of these motherfuckers, man.
Hey, even if they don't even convert to Christianity, bro. Once a woman once a woman from over there leave off from her culture, she has been mind warped.
Yep.
From Esau.
Yep.
So, I mean, come on, man.
That's right.
Yeah, whatever, man. We won't move on with this piece, man. You know what I'm saying? So, just to continue on about that persecution arising, man. You see, because it's coming, and it's gonna arise and be more. I don't even want to say well put together because Esau being real tacky right now. But the level of this thing is gonna continue to go up. And it's gonna happen more and more.
Hey, but to the untrained eye, it ain't tacky. It ain't. To the untrained eye, they just swallowing it right on.
That's what I wanted to say, because when you mentioned false flag, bro, it gave that look like, what do you mean? Jake still don't know about no false flags, bro. They have no clue what a false flag is, bro.
Nope. Jake still think that their government got their best interest in mind.
Exactly.
That they can drink the tap water and be cool. Hey, you ain't learned what happened in Flint, Michigan? That didn't raise no eyebrows how Flint, Michigan still ain't got clean water? Yeah. How they ain't got no clean water, man. You think that your government got your best interest in mind.
Right.
Fools, hey, man. Hey, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man, like the scriptures say, man. That you really can't believe that your government would order out of chaos, man. That they'll create the problem and also give you the solution to gain more control, man.
Right.
They've been doing it for centuries, man. Go ahead, brother.
I got a precept. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you with idols, with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach, and trodden underfoot. Yeah, here's the point right here. Verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right? So the word insurrection means an uprising. Right? So you're going to have Esau coming up against the men of the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High. So Esau is coming down with aggression, man. Physical violence,
The only way he know how to be. That's all. It can't be anything else.
By thy sword shalt thou live, man. By thy sword shalt thou live.
That's his blessing, man.
Hey, that's his blessing. That's his number one tool. That's what he always gonna resort to, man. Like I mentioned earlier, man. Because Esau really is a coward, man. Esau really is a coward, man, and a damn punk ass bitch, man. Because at the end of the day, man, he gonna resort back to that sword every time, man. When he feel like he can't win with intellect, because you can't be too smart. He couldn't be too smart to sell his birthright. He the basis of all men, man. These damn people be walking around looking like some damn cavemen sometimes, man. Hey, man, having working in the area I work in, I've seen he might do some dumb ass shit.
And I got Sirach 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Hold that.
Though he
That's the spirit. I got my finger on it. Go ahead, brother.
though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And that's the point I really wanted to touch, because Esau goes crouching, man. You see? But that's what the scripture says, take heed and beware of him, man. And our people are not good. Beware. They're not bewaring Esau, man. They're not, their eyes is not circumspect on him.
Nope.
You see? You know, when you think about Esau, you don't think about, or our people, when they think about Esau, they don't think about nothing bad. You know? Because they're so-called white, right?
Right.
They're pure, they're moral.
Right.
Right? That's why they put that stigma on themselves.
Well, and goes back to their witchcraft and their media. Because if you control the media, you control the narrative, man. You see, so what they put out there is, when they put out there is like, yeah, these so-called Negroes and Hispanics, they've been shooting each other up all year. A certain city got 100 murders a year, right? Or they've been pushing. This year they pushed 4 or 5 million tons, or you know, whatever, or they say 2,000 tons of heroin, or this and that, or we done found 200 guns on the streets of the black and Hispanic community. But it's like, hold on, wait a minute. You're the same person that's funding all the wars and giving all the guns to the other nations, right? You're the same person that's going into the opium fields and getting all those drugs and taking the resources from the other nations, then bringing it back to the states, right? Then putting it on the streets. You see? But he's the one behind all of that. You see? But then he pushes it out to the people like, we're the bad guys. Yeah. Even though I'm saying what Jake is doing is wrong. What Jake is doing ain't right. But what Jake is doing is wrong. You see? It's wrong. But Esau does push Jake into a corner and leave him to a point where they have no, I don't want to say have no choice, but almost
make it easy.
To make it easier decision. It's like, because I want to feed my family or do this.
Yeah.
You know, it basically puts us in a type of hole where it's like climb yourself out.
Yeah.
But needless to say, it pushes this damn narrative into the world as when people think of robbers and drug dealers and all that, they look at us. The picture is us. We're the image of it. But really, it's Esau.
Right. And I want to bring out another part of the same chapter. Because the brother mentioned, you mentioned it, and also the brother mentioned it. Because the scripture the brother read said, they that consider to them shall be had in derision. And the brother also, oh yeah, that's what I want to mention. So not only is it with the media, it's the Stockholm syndrome why our people look at Esau like that. And also even that dude that was right up here, I want to bring him up as an example again. Even he couldn't understand, because it's like a mental block somewhere deep in your mind that won't let Jake fully hate Esau.
Yep, right.
You know, and even he couldn't understand that he was under the reaches of what that renaissance, that rebirth did to the whole world, man. We'll put up Esau to where he's some good guy, to where you can't fully hate him because he comes crouching like the brother mentioned. You see? So it's like, oh, you mean that guy? He's so mannerable. He's so personable. He's all peaceful. That's how Esau looks. How could he dare be the wicked? And Esau's going down. That was an Edomite boy. Esau's going down just like that Edomite boy that just fell, man. Now look, I want to get this out of that. Sirach, what was this? What is this? 12. This is 12. Sirach 12 and 13. But this is what's coming for you Jakes, man. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? Or any such as come nigh wild beasts. So, hey, anybody gonna pity you for getting buddy with Esau when the scripture tells you not to get all close to him? Verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? Who gonna pity you, man? You know what I mean? For being all buddy and consenting under Esau, you're gonna be had in derision, man.
The scriptures say this, right? Hand joined in hand. You know? You got Isaiah 13 and 13 and 13. No, it ain't. No. That's Proverbs. Go hand join in hand.
See if I might get mine first. Isaiah. Oh yeah. 13 and 15.
You got your problem? Yeah, go ahead. You want
Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So you joined up with Esau when the destruction comes down, man, you're gonna fall by the sword. See? You looking for another one? Though hand join in hand, though hand join in hand, the seed of the wicked shall not go unpunished. Roughly paraphrasing, man. You know?
I don't appreciate that, what you were saying earlier. This is Psalm 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Right? He came crouching, came humble, speaking all smoothly. But war was in his heart.
Right, so in his mind, right, he was basically plotting how to take you down. See? Even though he spoke all subtlety, you know what I'm saying?
And then it goes into that in Ecclesiastes.
That's exactly where it is.
It says, his words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So, hey, perfect example, right? The Gadites, so-called Native American Indians, right? Over here in North America. They made treaties with them, peace treaties. Oh, we're just gonna come here, we're gonna live over here, we're gonna trade with you guys, right? But then at the end of the day, they started massacring them. They started taking over, taking their land and then forced them on reservations. Right? So you can't trust your enemy. You can't trust Esau. Right? Though he come humbly and crouching, man.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Yeah.
Hey, and that's the epitome of the personality traits of Esau, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You come and you say, oh, I'm being all nice to him, and but deep down he envies you, and he's trying to see how he can overmaster you, man. And take over you, take your woman, and take everything you have, man. Okay? He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So yeah, he'll weep with his eyes. Oh yeah, that's so sad that you're going through that, brother. We're here with you. We're here with our black brothers. We're in their time of adversity. But man, when he get that opportunity, he ain't gonna be satisfied with just killing you. He wants your land, your woman, your resources, whatever you have. He wanna be you. He wanna call himself after your heritage. You know, he ain't just satisfied with killing your ass. He want everything about you, man.
Where's the below on that, bro?
He's sort of like a body snatcher. Is it above it or below it?
I think it's below it.
If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
Because Esau be the first one there when different little tragic events be happening. Esau be the first person there.
Hey man, and wasn't it said that FEMA was like shooting people?
Yeah.
Certain out there in Louisiana and stuff, I heard they were shooting people, man. They were sending out little dispatches of groups. And if you was darker than the brown paper bag, you was getting lit up.
That's right.
So even though he pretend to help you, just like he gonna do with the chip, just like he gonna do with the FEMA camp in the coming calamity, really he's undermining you to either slay your ass or give you the chip so the Most High can't condemn you to death, man.
Especially those FEMA camps, man. When they get you into that FEMA camp, man, that FEMA zone, man, they gonna use all they use their little trickery, man.
We got 24-hour rations. We got this, that, and the other. All you gotta do is just come to the FEMA gate near you.
You know Jake, man. Oh, y'all got food? Shit, man. We up in there.
We up in there.
We got poke rounds and bacon
No
bits.
question.
You ain't gotta tell me twice.
No question.
As Jake would say.
Say less.
Is there some more there?
He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. So then when you see his true nature, ain't that a shame that them niggas went down like that? I can't believe it. Look at these niggas. He was such a fool. That's how he gonna show his true nature, man. Go ahead, bro.
Sirach 6 verse 13. Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends. Hey, so the scriptures tell you to separate thyself from your enemies, man. So even with reading that scripture, you want to ask yourself, well, shit, who's my enemy? I need to know who my enemy is so I can separate from him. You know? And yes, your enemy is Esau, Edom. Okay?
But Jake don't think they have an enemy.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. Jake don't really think they have nothing to be worried about.
What it? Sorry, bro. Because I mean, if I could turn it, yeah. Because because according to what these people think, you know what I'm saying? They believe you can't be godly if you have an enemy. You know what I'm saying? How can you be godly and have an enemy? That's how Jake is. You say you have enemies? How is that of God?
And you know what's funny about it? That's yet another thing that Christianity put to the world. You know, that if you have any type of hate or anger towards anybody, you can't be godly. Well, we just read what the man after God's own heart said. Do not I hate them that hate me. Okay? And them that hate, what does the scripture say? Them that hate me love death.
But then Esau can go around the whole world. He run around the whole world playing this Mr. Holy Man, right? And getting the whole world by playing this so-called God-fearing person. But you ain't got nothing to say about him. You got nothing to say. Sorry, bro. Precept. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33. It says 33 and 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. There you go, man. You see? Separation, man. You know? That's easy separation. You see? Because like, where you at? Okay, I believe there's one in, I believe go to 13. Because the lamb don't fellowship with no wolf. You see? Why would a lamb fellowship with a wolf? Why would he fellowship with someone or with a what is it? Their predator? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, he's a predator. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, what is the animal like a wolf that doesn't have really any defense? A lamb doesn't have really any defenses. What you gonna just walk up to a wolf and try to befriend him for? Knowing that any moment he can snap and kill you, man. Hey, what does it say? Also, keep thee far from the man that had the power to kill, man. And that's Esau, man. Esau has been given the sword into his hand. So you're supposed to keep far from Esau, man, because he got the power to kill, like the scripture says.
This is Ecclesiasticus, in the book of Sirach, chapter 13 and 15. It says, every beast loveth his life, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his life. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly. There you go, man. What fellowship do we have together, man? Hey, and another scripture says, roughly paraphrasing, basically had no fellowship with unbelievers, man.
Yeah. Yeah, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Yeah.
We can't be buddy. I was just about to go into that. How, you know, once you get into this truth, man, you ain't trying to be no 2/3 nigga's friend, man. You can't trust that nigga for shit, man. You know, now the scripture say trust no man, you know what I'm saying? But we damn sure know we can't trust no fucking 2/3.
Got it. 2 Corinthians 6 verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. But what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteous? And what communion have light with darkness?
Right.
Hey man, hey, just like as an example, like from work, man. Like I work around a bunch of low life, hypocritical Christians, man. And you know, they'll be joking around like this is one dude, you know, fake, you know, small talk conversation. He was like, oh yeah, you know, such and such is my friend, you know, referring to me. Me, I just smile at him and just be like, yeah, whatever. Because I don't know you like that, man.
Think what he thinks, man.
Right. Plus, you know, yeah, you can't have any fellowship with 2/3 of your mannerisms and that shit. That'll rub off on you, man.
Yeah, and then also it tells you to confirm a friend. You just throwing that word out too willy-nilly, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know you.
I don't know you from a can of paint, man. Hey, but you know what? Hey, man, you know, them Christians, man, a lot of them, they come in that same stead of Esau, man. They are their father, the devil, man, because Esau's subtle, and Christians come with this subtlety of, we love you, brother, but really deep down, they hypocrites. They talk shit about you behind your back.
Right.
Some of the most shit-talking motherfuckers is them Christians, man. Oh, you see Sister L, you see what she wore last Sunday? Ugh. I can't believe that bitch wore that shit to church. I'll be there. That bitch need whooping. That need to be beat.
But you know what? But you know what? Christianity allows you to be an hypocrite, bro.
Yep.
It allows that.
Any of y'all know where Ace is at right here, right around here somewhere?
It allows that. You know, it allows you to be a hypocrite. It allows you to do.
It promotes it.
Do as thou will. See, not do the will of the Lord, but do as thou will. See, do your own thing. See, that's what it promotes, man. Ultimately, it promotes death. See? On the other hand, we speak very harsh, and we come with the harsh truth. But guess what? It speaks life. It speaks life into you. You see? We don't care how bad you get, how much you get your feelings. Hey, if you repent from it, then it's all good.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's what we want.
Right, because at the end of the day, we're trying to clean the inside of the vessel, man. You Christians so worried about cleaning the outside of the vessel and looking clean to men and all this other shit. We're trying to really get our life together and repent from these sins and stuff. Y'all look good on the outside, but inside y'all fucking wicked, man.
Inside is dead
Man's bones, man. A whited sepulcher, man. A pure white grave, nigga. You know what I mean? We ain't trying to be like that, man. So yeah, we might. Sometimes what we dealing with might show through, but we trying. Y'all niggas, man. Y'all just
doing whatever y'all want to do, man.
Right, and making it look good. Go ahead, brother. Flock.
Right. 2 Corinthians 6. Boy, they looking good for the people that know the truth. To these phonies and you know, people that's blind and it look good to them. We see right through that shit. 2 Corinthians 6 verse 15. And what concord with the Mashiach with Belial? Or what have he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement have the temple of the Most High with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power. As the Most High has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
Right. See, and that's one thing that you Jehovah's Wickedness followers got right, was that y'all don't commune with people outside of y'all faith. That's about it, that and the way the kingdom's gonna be on the earth. Other than that, y'all off. Y'all got some aspects, right?
A little bit how the kingdom gonna be on the earth.
Yep, it's gonna be peaceful and stuff.
Okay.
That's gonna be peaceful. The only thing that I say they got right is when they show that image of there being peace, the lion and the lamb and all these laying together and paradise being on the planet Earth, and also separating from people who don't believe what you believe.
Yeah, but a couple years ago, someone they got my job, and I was just first, maybe a couple months in learning the truth. But you know, he seen me reading the Bible. He actually didn't catch me one day reading the Bible, but you know, I couldn't even have that this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, he believe in the Bible. He said, yeah, my mom's Jehovah's Witness, blah, blah, blah. Since you Jehovah's Witness, like something like that. I forget what it led up to this. To Revelation, the 7th chapter. They talking about everybody can be up in that. I cut that madness so fast, I'm like, whoa, boy. That's what y'all teach? That's what they teach? You're like, yeah. I'm like, nah, we're not going for that. You see, the 144,000 and the mixed multitude, that's all Jake, baby. All Jake.
That's right.
You see? But I know that's one of the things that madness that they teach.
Yeah, I was just talking about the separation and the kingdom being, the paradise being on earth. But yeah, they definitely off. This is the truth right here, man. Ain't none of these secular religions got the truth, man.
Yeah, another thing, right? Yeah, because they're super off. They be coming out here passing out pamphlets. Be women out here. What are y'all doing? You see, y'all people disrespectful. Especially you women, man. You Jehovah's Witness and Christian women, Catholic women, y'all are the worst, man.
Yep.
Because y'all are so rebellious of the scriptures, man. As far as how y'all not supposed to be, bro. That position that y'all proclaiming y'all want to be in so bad. Okay.
They stiff
You
necked
see,
as hell.
see how Jezebel went in and played her position to a role like that? Then y'all can get the same issue like
Oh
that.
man, I'm glad you mentioned that too, cause hey man, you even got them in the Israelite community, man. Like that chick that Brother Menata Zagba, Elder Menata Zagba was getting on, man. And you know that scripture that kept popping in the mind, which I don't know if nobody put it on the comment board or not. I'm gonna probably have to go post it. Okay, you suffered that woman Jezebel to preach, which seduced my servants, man. And that woman had the spirit of Jezebel on there, man. You could see her shape perfectly while she was sitting right there, man. That shit is off. That shit is off, man. You sitting up there supposed to be talking about God or be righteous, and you got men lusting after you, man.
The scripture says, I suffer not a woman to teach. I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over a man. So y'all off, man.
Yeah, in other words, you ain't got nothing to say.
You got shit to say.
Quiet.
What do you say? Close your beak. Close that beak.
Chicken head.
You don't want to hear all that chirping.
Alright, let's get started. Let's get
Right.
But it's the truth, though.
Hey, but these women got hell to pay, man. She is my enemy shall see it, man.
Triple, you women that are right eat.
That's right. If you hella at ease to feel comfortable enough to come do that shit.
Check out Thessalonians. Bringing this one out. Trying to bring this one out every week.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Your hand, and then you're not getting warm?
Yeah. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? So Esau is being destroyed by this word. Right? That's why he's getting back into a corner spiritually. When you get back into a corner, what you gonna do? Is you gonna get your ass whooped or you gonna fight? Esau's gonna fight, man.
That's right.
Hey, the scripture say he's gonna dirt fight, especially when it's time to fight the Lord. And read the last part again.
It says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Brightness of his coming, man. Hey, when Yahweh Shai make his return, you see, he's gonna destroy y'all with the brightness of his coming, man. You see? Hey, when he come back on that big father ship and come back with the other chariots, man, it's gonna, man. Whew. I can't even tell you how it's gonna look or how it's gonna be, man.
Hey, what the scriptures say? It says, let all the earth be in awe of him. You look up that word awe, it means to be in fear. Right? You also use that for when you're awestruck, like something is amazing. So it's gonna be amazing and fearful at the same time.
Scriptures also say all the earth shall tremble, right? Everything shall move at his presence. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be crazy, man.
Hey, as a matter of fact, I got this thing came to mind. It's called shock and awe. It's basically a type of tactic used in war. Shock and awe, technically known as rapid dominance, is a tactic based on the use of overwhelming power and spectacular displays of force to paralyze the enemy's perception of the battlefield and destroy their will to fight.
Now what's that sound like, man? When them chariots, what the scriptures say? They're going to behold the strangest of their salvation, man. Them chariots come back, people going, already, man, you see a different news reports and footage of the chariots. People are awestruck. They're like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, boy. Hey, man, like the bro brought out, they will be afraid, but yet there's fight, man. Yeah, they're going to be afraid when they see those legions of chariots coming, man. Yeah. But the Lord going to put the spirit on them just like he hardened Pharaoh's heart to still come against it, man.
Absolutely.
You know? That's why the scriptures say that we're no longer going to speak about the salvation from Egypt. We're going to speak about the salvation from the land of the north, man. This is going to trump what happened back there in Egypt, man, those great plagues. This is going to be much more dramatic, and it's going to be shock and awe, man.
Right.
Man, the Lord's going to get busy, man. Woo. You ain't lying, brother. He's going to get busy.
Yeah, let's get some of them destruction with materials.
Yeah.
You can grab the one in Isaiah 66, 15. Isaiah 64. The book of Isaiah 24, verse 20.
The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. It shall be. Oh, no, this is no, I mean, Isaiah 24 verse 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. So the first part is going into is the earth being real to and fro like a drunkard, dealing with the nuclear missiles. All right, and then when you go into the second part, dealing with the host of the high ones, these different kings, these different elites. Meaning what, man? They gonna get put in what? A chains. You see? The ones that's gonna get punished, the host of the high ones, they're gonna be in chains, right? Verse 22. And they should be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit. They shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. So that's what I was hand in hand now when I said they should be in chains, man. They're gonna be not but prisoners. They're gonna be slaves. Right. So, and still talk about you're talking about having slaves. We is gonna have slaves, man. We gonna have concubines from the other nations. People of the other nations gonna be slaves. See? Total dominance. Total dominance, man. Not halfway. We ain't gonna be no half-stepping. Half-stepping in the kingdom. No.
Yep. Like what does it say? Like a potter's vessel, shall you break them in pieces, man? With a rod of iron, man. That ain't gonna be nice and gentle and calm and like the elders brought out, the young elders out there in Dallas brought out last night. What was that precept they brought out? Oh yeah, it was going into them that would not come up and worship. Okay, upon that nation shall be no rain. And then even after the rain get cut off, if they don't come up, then they gonna get smitten with plagues, man. So that's total dominance, man. Like the brother said, that's total dominance. And also when we see those, when the chariots are seen, the missiles is right there with them, right? You hear me, brother? When the chariots are seen, the missiles is right there with them, right?
Some type of way. I don't know how that dramatic fashion is gonna take place.
Saying 1 hour, man.
It's gonna be like the woman with the birth pain. Birth pain. So it's like the brother said, it's gonna be right behind you. You know? It's gonna be right back.
The chariot's gonna be getting busy too, man. Right before the missiles come.
Yeah, so it's gonna be right behind it. Yep.
Right. Let's see here. Joel, you got one?
Yeah, he got Isaiah 66.
This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15. For behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebukes with flames of fire.
Right, so we were speaking on the angels, we were speaking on the chariots, what Esau calls the UFOs, right? This is what they coming with, man. They coming with fire, okay? And when I said what, the Lord should destroy them, roughly paraphrasing, the brightness of his coming, that's how he coming, man. You see, he coming with full force, man. Go ahead.
It says, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
That's right.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Yeah, so a lot of people gonna be getting slayed out here, man. You know, like a buffet.
Right. I got
the blood shall be from the bridle to the hip.
Yup.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, there's one in Habakkuk also. This is Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse let me start at verse 1.
Alright.
It says, a prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon Shigionoth. O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known in wrath, remember mercy. The Most High came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. And his brightness was as the light, and he had horns coming out of his hand. And there was the hiding of his power. And when you look up the word horns, it goes back to beams of light. So coming from those chariots, this is going to be laser beams, man. They're fire, right? And we know this is talking about the chariots because it says his glory covered the heavens, and Yahweh Shai is coming back with that brightness, you know? It says before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. It says he stood and measured the earth, he beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered. The perpetual hills did bow, his ways are everlasting. So yeah, that's the point, man. Yahweh Shai is coming back with those chariots and those laser beams coming out of those chariots, man.
Psalm 68, verse 17. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000. Book of Psalm 68, verse 17. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. So the Lord got many chariots, man. See, many chariots. Okay? And that's how they coming. It's going to be like a fleet.
You got the intergalactic air force, or the intergalactic force, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a fleet, man. I'm telling you.
It's going to cover the sky.
What Jake be saying? Yeah, man. They was rolling hard, man.
They was deep.
It was deep.
Thousands deep, man.
For sure. That's how they coming. They coming with full force, man. Full force and reckoning. Okay? That's how?
Yeah. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 2. It says, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen underneath him. And whensoever his voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Right? It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Right? So talking about how great and how gigantic this chariot is, you know, that he's going to be coming in.
Yep.
Right?
Go ahead. I think I get to it.
Right? It says, but I beheld, verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not.
Talking about and that's how big that chariot was, man. He thought to the point where he thought it was a mountain. But then when he looked, he like, well, shit, I don't see no mountain.
All the mountains still in one piece.
You know what I'm saying?
So he couldn't have cut it out of that mountain range.
Right.
So what is this? A huge chariot.
It says, and after this I beheld, lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight.
God.
Right? So Esau is going to fight whether he's afraid, you know, afraid or not.
Right. Because right now Esau's getting a taste, man. Like when you see that footage of them trying to shoot down that chariot, and the chariot just hitting the hot sauce on their bitch ass.
He just gliding like a bird, man.
Hey, they hitting the AI on them niggas like before he went into the league, man. Just juking their ass, man. But Esau know he can't hold a candle to the chariots of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. In the way that they move, man, they ain't got that type of technology, man. But he's still gonna fight because the Lord gonna put the spirit on him, man.
Here's the point right here. Verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath.
Yeah, because you people about to be getting torched, man. You see? And what the Lord say? He said, what? I will not meet thee as a man. You see?
Right. And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they that were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Yeah, so Esau's army, that's what's going to happen to them, man. They're going to get zapped with powder, man.
Vaporized,
Woo,
bro.
Yeah.
man. Just think about that, man. You got a whole, I don't know, thousands, maybe even millions of troops, man. They got their tanks, they got their jets, all their military weaponry, and the Lord just, boom, in a split second, boom, they're all dust.
Just like if, you know, you about to barbecue, right? And you got someone really don't know what they're doing, and then they put too much lighter fluid all on the charcoal, right? And you only get one good batch of the good food, and the rest of it, you see when you get done, it's straight ashes, man. You know, that's how these nations gonna be.
Ashes.
Nothing but ashes.
We shall not be utterly beaten into powder in His presence.
That's
Right.
Jeremiah 4 verse 13. Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. And the brother was talking about how swift those chariots was, man, or swift as eagle. Because the eagle, when you see an eagle glide through the air, it just look real swift. You do it with ease. You know what I'm saying? Same with the chariots. You see, they do it with ease. Even when you see like the person he mentioned, like AI. See? AI was crossing people over so bad,
So buttery.
so buttery, so easy. It was like, oh, he's just doing it with ease.
Yep.
You see? So chariots is the same way, man. But on a way, a frequency out of this world, because they are. You know what I'm saying?
There goes my destruction out of this world.
Right. Revelation 1 verse 7, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every man shall see him, and they which pierced him, and they also, which pierced him. That's reincarnation right there. Whether he have ears to hear, let him hear. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. Yeah, people getting well, man. And a lot of our people gonna get the wailing because they gonna know what, you know, in their spirit, once they see Yahweh's return, in their spirit, they already gonna know that they fucked up.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna be one of them things. You know you fucked up, right?
And that's what they say on them. Another way of saying it, they do on these little videos. They be like, and that's when he knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
Second Thessalonians, what is it? 2. And I just want to get straight to the point. Okay, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Which is when he come back with them chariots, man. You know, with the brightness of his coming, man. That's when Esau is going to get destroyed, man. Right now he's being consumed with the spirit of his mouth, which is the getting hewed down with the words of the prophets. But then during the brightness of the Lord's coming, he's going to get destroyed, man.
Right.
We're going to read 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and 5 again. It says that after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
To subdue the man that came out of the sea. Who's that man that came out of the sea? That's Yahweh Shai, man. See? No, it's not talking about no ocean where it just pops up out the ocean and all that. You gotta understand that the sea is also is equivalent to be above us, because all that up there is called
Shemayim.
yeah, Shemayim, the waters.
Yeah, the water. He separated the water from the water.
But it's not in the
not in the same form it is
form,
down
yeah,
here.
the form that it's in up there, it's still water up there, but it's not in the same liquid form as it is down here.
I never heard it broke down like that. Because I know that when they practice going into outer space, they practice in deep water.
Yeah, 'cause it's water in the heaven.
Water, yeah.
Water in there, it's just a different form. It's like a different. I don't know the scientific word that I can say for it though. I might have to
I
look
know
it
what
up.
you mean. It's a different state. It's a different state. Like they got gas states, and they got solid state, and then they got the liquid state of different chemicals and stuff like that.
Yeah, because when people think like when a man come out of the sea, you know, people might think, well, what the hell that mean?
Yeah. They're just referring to the heavens. The heavens is referring to the water.
Yep, Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Right. The waters separated the waters from the water.
Yep.
With the firmament, which is the atmosphere, the sky.
Right. The elements above from the elements that's below.
That's right. Which he refers to as waters.
Right. So yeah, that's the sea. So Yahweh Shai's coming from the heavens, man. Right? He's gonna crack them clouds, as you say. That's all right.
I got you backing up. The book of Matthew 24 verse 29, it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And there shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Now he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end to the other.
Right. Hey, man. So, Yahweh Shai is coming from the spiritual realm. I don't know if there's a video that one of the bros, I reposted it on my channel, but basically, it's a footage of a chariot going into the spirit, going into the spiritual realm. There's a chariot floating there, and then there's a portal that opens up above it, and then it goes up into the portal, and the portal disappears. Right, so Yahweh Shai, he's coming from the spiritual realm, man. He's at the right hand of the Father right now as we speak. Right, but he's coming, he said with power and great glory. He's coming with in a dramatic fashion too, man.
Yeah, those are some different dimensions.
Right.
All right, are you done with that? All right, go to all right, we can finish the persecution and close out. So yeah, so going back to as we started with, that persecution arising, man. And as this persecution gets hotter and hotter, on us, right? Because the more, they're going to do more blaming, man. They're more putting it on us, But with all that being said and done, don't let this shake your faith, because you don't want to be the one that becomes offended because of persecution and tribulation. You don't want to be the one likened to the man or the person that fell on stony ground. You don't want that, man.
Right. And even the example given after it can kind of be applied too, where we talk about the cares of this world, because you might have a family member, like another brother mentioned, it's like, oh, yeah, my son's a Hebrew Israelite. What's going on? They're calling you a terrorist. And you might let the cares of the love of your family take you out of the truth too. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I don't want my mom to worry about me, or whatever the case might be, man. Try to find an excuse, We have to pray the Lord through the Spirit on us to endure, man. But the hour of temptation is coming, man.
You got that Matthew 5? Because persecution must be. That's what you got to understand. Persecution is a must.
They persecuted Yahweh Shai.
Exactly. servant is not greater than his master. So how much more you? Or we? You know?
Matthew 5.
Matthew 5 and 10.
10. Matter of fact, I want to start at 9. Matthew 5 and 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High, which we are trying to make peace for the nation of Israel. Verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Blessed are they who are read that again?
Persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Blessed are they who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Yeah, we're being persecuted for teaching the truth of the Holy Bible, man. That's why we're being persecuted, man. See? Because the world was led to believe a whole different, a whole different spectrum when dealing with the Bible, man. So when we bring the truth of the Bible out, people be looking like, whoa, what book is that? I mean, we didn't heard it. What book are you reading from?
I'm reading some copy shit. That ain't the Bible.
There's no way you're reading the Bible. We never heard it like
what
that.
What version is that?
Or that's your interpretation.
King James was a Bible. All type of shit you hear, man.
This is Psalms 120 in verse 7.
Yeah, yep.
It says, I am for peace.
Right.
But when I speak, they are for war.
Right, so we are for peace. We're about peace. We want peace.
For the nation of Israel.
Right. But we want we want the world to be in peace. We want this state of the world to be in peace. We want peace amongst the animal world. We want peace amongst the sea world. Right? The foul world. The people, I mean, come on. Yeah, because there's many worlds. You catch that? Yeah, there's many worlds, all right?
That's why you quit bringing out the precept I'm holding too, man. That's the spirit, though. That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
Oh, that's another one you had?
Yeah, I got that already pulled open, man. I'm just ready to slide over to it. That's why I read Blessed are the peacemakers, because I was going to pull that out next.
Right.
But the spirit had the bro pull it out.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all through the spirit,
Right,
man.
so we're really the peacemakers for the poor people, man. Or for the elect on this side.
That's right, man. This is the rest wherewith we should call the weary to rest, man. We speaking that to you so that you can be comforted in knowing that you're going to be saved from the time to come if you do righteously, man.
Right.
If the Lord have it as a part of your story for you to endure this thing, man.
Right.
But when we are for peace, they are for war. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear making their enemy feel good and pleasing everybody else, man. Well, that ain't going to get you saved. That's going to get you fucked up, man.
If I may add, man, our peace is going to be what for Esau, right? Our peace is going to be
Nightmares.
nightmares for Esau.
That's right.
So that's why they're for war against us, right? Just as we brought out earlier. So is the godly against the sinner.
Well, Esau's against that because Esau's not about peace. He's about war. Look at his history. Right, so as the brother said, he says, when I speak, go ahead, read it again. Yeah, so
When I speak,
when I speak in peace.
Psalms 120 and 7.
Yeah.
I'm for peace, but when I speak, they are for war.
Right, but this is a spiritual war, man. You see? This is a battle out here, man. And you gotta be battle ready. See, we got our gear, we got our armor on, right? You know, we got our war horse beside us, we're riding on. We got the sword, which is the Holy Scripture, right? And what? We spiritual brothers in arms. You know? So when we speak, yeah, it sounds rough and it sounds harsh and it sounds like it's violent. You see? But that's what happens in war.
That's what it says, but when you really examine it, it says, I am for peace, but they are for war. So really what we're speaking is peace for the nation of Israel. But like I said, they don't want to hear that. So they the ones that get all, hey, look, when we out here trying to talk to our people, like the brother said, it may sound harsh because of the nature, man. We can't give that uncertain sound. So we gotta let you know that you should fear Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. And we do that through the terror of the Lord. Sometimes it come out raw, man. But ultimately, it's peace for you, man, to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, to come back to your true power, man. It's ultimately peace to you. But y'all so stiff-necked that y'all can't receive it. So with our peaceful words, y'all become for war, man. Y'all become for war. Y'all want to kill us like y'all did the forefathers, man. You witness of yourself that you are the children of them. They killed the prophets, man. And what did they say? Oh, if we had been at that time, we would have not have been partakers of their blood. But really, you're a witness to yourself that you would have killed them, man. So they was for peace, but y'all were for war. What did Stephen say? Stephen rebuked them, and he didn't get violent with them. He knew. He let them, and they killed him, man.
Gnashed on them with their teeth.
Gnashed on them, yeah, they was cut to the heart, man. But really, he was for peace. Repent ye of this evil thing that you do. You always resisting the Holy Spirit. Y'all niggas need to get right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they was like, man, fuck this nigga, man. We ain't trying to hear that shit, and they killed him, man. So they was the ones for war. Stephen was correcting them righteously, man. You know? So his words were really for peace. But that ain't how 2/3 proceeded. So then they ready to kill us, you know, for these things, man. Go ahead, bro. I got some more on this. Matthew 5 and 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. So it's going to be said falsely for the sake, for the will of Yahweh for his story to play out. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. And the bro brought it out earlier. The prophets that were before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many nations and kingdoms of war and famine and pestilence, man. Letting them know if they didn't repent, they was gonna fucking get destroyed, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, what you think is gonna happen? You telling Esau he's gonna be destroyed and his kingdom's gonna be destroyed, man. Now we gonna be getting the power. See, what you think is gonna happen? You think they're gonna like that?
Well, no.
Nah.
This is the same man that said that there's no wisdom in the Most High. This is the same man that said the Lord didn't get it right. We know better. So of course he's not gonna be down with that. What you mean the God of the earth is gonna kill me? Oh no, fuck that. We got to kill your ass. But it's manifesting more and more, which is Esau's believing it now. Esau's finally understanding and believing that he's an Edomite. And that what we're saying is true. The chariots is manifesting, different spiritual things is happening, where he's like, God, dog, these dudes is right. Oh, we gotta do something about this.
Hey, just like in Rome, when we was making an uproar in Rome, what did I think it was Claudius?
Yeah, one of them.
I think it was Claudius. They kicked us out of Rome, man.
Yeah.
But they kicked who? The followers of the Messiah.
That's right.
The Mashiachim.
Because of their doctrine.
Not the sellouts, the Mashiachim. Same thing they doing now, man. Cause we follow the Lamb wherever we go.
Yeah. Like the Messiah said too, man. He came to set people at variance. He came for division. He came for a sword to be set upon the planet Earth. So when this doctrine come out, hey, divisions is gonna happen, uproars is gonna happen, disagreements is gonna happen. You see? And so that's why it's a controversial thing, man. You know, the nature of the gospel itself, if you look at the history, is controversial, man. Like the scriptures I just quoted. So if you thinking it's gonna be all nice and hugs and kisses, when the word is coming out, you got a misconception from the rip, man.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So this is Revelations chapter 12 and verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of this Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before the Most High day and night. Right? So, hey, Esau is accusing us of being terrorists, man. He's accusing us of being wicked. That's why he's calling us black Hebrew Israelites. Right? He's slandering us, making all these different false accusations, and even going as far to make these different situations, man. And he's going to get cast down.
Still got that Matthew 5 and 11? Because it's saying the same thing. The same exact thing.
Oh man, 5 and,
you know?
5 and 11.
Yeah. Did you read it? I mean,
Matthew
yeah, you
5.
did read it. I did hear you read it.
Yeah, we'll read it again. Matthew 5 and 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you. Okay? And shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Hey, and you know, a thought popped in mind, you know, we're about to get ready to close out. But it's funny how one incident or two incidents so-called linked to the Hebrew Israelites, which is some bullshit, is starting this whole slander campaign, and eventually they're going to come against us with force. But you know how long Esau and the KKK and all these motherfuckers been actually killing and committing violence, and you don't have such demonization campaigns against them?
Well, these people look at it as they're separate. They're not all as one. When it comes to us, we one.
We all the
We
same.
one unit.
Right.
Yeah, we all the same. But when it comes to them, it's like, well, no, that was.
This one is not militant.
Right,
You know,
right.
the one that the way that they believe is that they don't actually physically touch anyone. It's these Nazi ones, the bald Nazi ones. They're the ones that actually.
Well, why we can't get that same respect? Well,
Right.
we know why.
Right. They get that. They are able to get that little division and split up. Where it's no, it's not them. It might be these three groups, but it ain't.
It ain't the
all
whole
of us.
nation of
Oh,
yep.
man.
It ain't the whole Aryan race, the nation thing. No, bro. At the end of the day, y'all just want to get Jake, but it's all a part of the Most High story, man.
That's right. It's part of the story.
Let's read this one again, Matthew 5 and 12. Okay. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Okay. And so, Lord willing, we endure this thing because the persecution is coming, man. As we can see, Esau's ramping it up more and more. Okay. And hey, man, who knows what he's gonna do to try to push that chip out even heavier. But hey, with the end of 2019 approaching, the year of Karagman, as the Apostle Heart through the Spirit coined it, ain't no telling what 2020 is gonna bring in store, man. 2020 is gonna be 2020 might be the year of persecution. Who knows what the Spirit gonna have it be coined, man? You know?
Alright, so we're gonna get to the point real fast because, like the brother said, hey, all this is for a purpose. Whether it's for a lot to shake some of y'all up out of here, that's truly not grounded, okay? Because that's a lot of y'all about to turn y'all back once the persecution really hit hard, right? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this is for different reasons. A lot of it's for to see if these brothers really gonna stand faithful for me through all the things that might take place. You know? So I mean it has its purpose, man, and it's a must be good.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. It says, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, but have not seen them.
Right, see, so they desire to see the things that we see and the things that we hear. You know? All the things that's coming to pass, all the things that's happening up on the earth now, they want to see all this, man. But we at the end. You know? Go ahead.
And to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Right.
Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received the seed by the wayside.
Right, so this person is the person who received the seed by the wayside. And say if they come up here and they start listening to the word, and an unbeliever may come and they might just throw out a question, you know, like what year was the Bible written, or I thought King James was a homosexual. It could be anything, right? Everything that they heard, it was just talking right out their heart that quick. You know? Go ahead. That's a quick example.
Verse 20. But he said, but he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon rejoice, receiveth it, that he hath not root in himself, but endureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended.
Right, so this particular individual, when he first found out he was an Israelite, right, he's happy. You know, he found out that he's the true people of the Bible, man. That King David and the Lord about Jesus Christ, that, you know, they go back to his people, that salvation is for him or his nation. You know? So these different things he found out are the truth that people was trying to lie, he received it with joy. But then, through time, things start to take place. Tribulations, right? Persecution, so forth and so on. Then he gets what? He gets offended. See, he gets offended by the word because he's like, well, wait a minute.
I wasn't going to do none of this before I picked up the Bible. So now you're telling me I picked up the Bible and now all this is happening? Oh, hell no. Nah.
See, yeah.
Verse 22. He also that receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Right, but this is a person that is into the world too much. Things of the world might have choked him up, man. Choked the word right up out of him. Yeah. And you know, there's having the people that want to get scholarships. You know, people that want to have careers. You know, people that just are used to being in the street life or having money. You know, whatever the case may be, it all choked them up. Where it was like, you know what, the word is getting in my way, and I'd rather be the one that.
Right, and there may even come a time, now I'm speaking as a man when I say this though, but when it may even come a time where, hey, it talks about the deceitfulness of riches and the cares of this life. A lot of people are going to take the chip, man. They're going to take the chip because they're more worried about, they ain't going to have faith that the Lord can feed them, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, well, you know what, we got to take this chip, man, so my family can eat, man. So I can buy and sell, man. You see? So, hey, that could be another aspect of that, man. You know?
The Lord says his servants are going to eat, man.
But hey, but I do the spirit. There's going to be time, but that's going to be tested, whether or not you believe that, man. Yeah. We get tested now, man, hey, man, the Lord show you stuff where you be like, damn, I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Because we all go off, man. But the Lord show you, it's like, you know what? I got you, man. You ain't got to do this or do that, man. I got you. Why the fuck you out here doing this dumb shit, man? Right. See?
So, hey, again, man, and sometimes you be like, you get put in a situation, but then you be like, well, damn, all I had to do was just wait.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
All I had to do was just wait a little bit longer.
Right. So, hey, you know, that's all through the Spirit. The Lord puts us through these things to prepare us for what's coming, man. It's all, and we just gotta take easy. Right. So I got closing precept.
It says, but he that receiveth the seed into good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100, some 60, and some 30.
Right, see, so you want to be the one that's receiving the seed on good ground, man. The ones that what? Did it say what? Understand, heareth it and understand. See, heareth and understand, and then what? Bear fruit. Okay? And scripture says you are known by your fruit. And your fruit also we may mention is your works, man.
Yep, you're doing.
You know? Yeah.
You shall eat the fruit of their doings, man. Back into that you know, the garden as well, that fruit was the ways of the evil, man. That forbidden fruit. Alright, closing precept, 2 Ezra 2 and 42. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with song. The elect, man. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms. So this is what we striving to be a part of this number, man. Verse 46. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I to greatly commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Most High. You know? So that's what we want to be a part of that number, man. We want to stand stiffly in this thing. So we got to continue to say those key prayers. Lord, take not thy Holy Spirit away from me. You know, stay in the Spirit, fast when you know you need to fast, and so on and so forth, man. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, you know. We gotta tighten up the ship, man. You know, it's time to put off from those sins and meddle no more with them, like it tells us in 2 Ezra, what is that, 6 and towards the end. Meddle no more with those sins, right? Because it's coming a time where we're gonna need to be in the Spirit 100%, man. You know? to the best of our ability. I mean, you know, we're not perfect. But bro, this shit is about to hit the fan. And the Spirit gonna have to guide us through every situation, man. You know, so we gotta get in tune, you know. Unless you got something to close down on.
1 Corinthians 9 verse 25. Every man that striving for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
Right. So hey, all them that strive for these different worldly masters, they're temperate. You know, look at these different boxers with that gladiator spirit on them. You know, like Apostle Hart said, what do you say, what's that dude's name? That's a demon, basically.
That's a demon.
What's that dude that's knocking everybody out? Wilder. Deontay Wilder. He dude got a demon in his hand that be putting folks to sleep. Well, you know, these different boxers, man, they're very temperate. I've seen this one, Joshua, whatever his name is. Anthony Joshua. Man, when they show his crib, bro, it's very minimalistic, bro. He ain't got shit in his fridge but health shit. He got a small little room with a bed. He ain't all fancy because why he focused on boxing. That's all he focused on. He's temperate. He probably don't be having chicks through the crib or none of that shit like that. Because he's focused on that goal. They doing that. Yeah, he got a mission. He's doing it for a corruptible crown. How much more for that incorruptible should we be likewise in this truth, man? You know, so that's what we're striving for, man. We in this flesh, so we go off, man. But that's what we should be aiming towards, man.
Got a mission.
Got a mission.
James Bond style, baby.
God, hey, and this mission, man, is gonna reap many rewards, man. Much more than this bullshit on this side, man. This corruptible crown. When we get in the kingdom, then we gonna get to relax, man. That ain't his name. So anyway, we about to close it out, right? We want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutation to the hopefully elect. We pray your brothers was edified. With that, we're going to say shalom.